Okay, so we're going to pick up with the law of multiple proportions. So the law of multiple proportions just states that when different compounds are made of the same elements, different masses of one element are going to combine with a fixed mass of the other element in a ratio of small whole numbers. For example, water and peroxide. So water is H2O, right? Peroxide is H2O2. H2 is your fixed mass. O2 is your different mass, right? You have one oxygen here, two here, so different mass. And this is what they look like if you look at them as molecules, right? H2O, you can see here is the big oxygen molecule, and then the Mickey Mouse ears for the hydrogens. And then for peroxide H2O2, you can see two oxygens here and two hydrogens here. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio of hydrogen between the two compounds and a 1-to-2 ratio of oxygen because you've got twice the oxygen in the peroxide. Okay, and then that's just everything labeled. So this is our example problem for this. So when you're looking at the ratios, you can get a percentage of one element or another, and you can figure out the rest of the percentage because there's only two in this case. And then you turn it into mass. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And I'm actually going to pull up the whiteboard because it's easier to write on that. And let me just try this out real quick. Okay. So when you have two percentages, remember everything has to equal 100. So for me to figure out the percent of chlorine, I'm just going to take this 64.20 and I'm going to subtract it from 100. And that should give you, let me see, 100 minus 64.20, 35.8. So it's 35.80. Okay, then I'm going to do the same thing for compound 2, except I'm going to be figuring out the percent of Cu. So 100 minus 52.73, and I'm going to just do that on my calculator. It's 47.27, so 47.27. Now here's the fun part. When you're going from percentages to mass in 100 grams, you just rewrite the number without a percent sign. So if my percent Cu is 64.20, it's going to be 64.2 grams out of 100, and then 35.80, 35.80. And then here we've got 47.27 and then 52.73. Okay. All right. So your mass in 100 grams is equal to your percent by mass. And so your mass ratio is you're going to take your grams of Cu and divide it by your grams of Cl. Okay. So we're going to take our 64.2 and we're going to divide that by our 35.80. Okay. And that's going to give us a ratio of 1.793 grams of Cu to 1 gram of Cl, because we're trying to compare the Cu. So 1.793 grams of Cu, 1 gram Cl. Okay. And then we're going to do our second ratio, which is 47.27 divided by 52.73. And that's going to give us 0.8964 grams Cu over 1 gram Cl. And then you're going to compare your Cu-Cl from both ratios. So it's just going to be your mass ratio of 1 divided by your mass ratio of 2. And it's going to be 1.793 grams Cu-Cl divided by 0.8964 grams Cu-Cl, and it gives you a ratio of 2.0. So the ratio of Cu in these compounds is 2 to 1. Okay, there's twice the amount of Cu in compound 1 as is in compound 2. Okay, so that is the law of multiple proportions, and that's how you use it. And if we wanted to do this for chlorine, we would just reverse those ratios and then divide just like we did in the last step.